Try it.
Right, we're on. I've just got to change the names around. So, hello and welcome to our first live stream. Hopefully, hopefully this all works well. So we're gonna treat this as I would a normal community interview that I've done with previous people. So this is going to be about us and how we've got into our hobby and all that kind of jazz. Not really much else to say, I don't think. Hopefully everyone can hear us, and if you have any problems, please let us know. So I think we'll crack straight in with a question that I got sent to us, and I thought it'd be quite amusing to start with.
Okay, who's it from?
Who do you think it's from?
Clubley?
Yeah, Clubley is correct.
Okay, right.
So quite a funny one to start off with. Actually, we should probably explain kind of the Guardians in general. It was a YouTube channel started by me and you.
It was, yeah.
Back in 2016.
Yeah. So I think we did our first video was the first article.
Yes.
Almost 4 years now. Yeah.
Oh god, that's a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
and so we started up with a ode to the Guardians of the Shire pack that came out with Gildor and the Dunedain. So that's where we got the name. And then from there we started making some YouTube videos. And then we've kind of expanded in the since the start of the year, really. So now we have a Discord channel, which we kind of hang out a couple of nights a week, maybe, with just hobby and painting, and obviously doing more videos. The Guardians has grown, at least our little social group, that's what we also call it. So it's myself, Luke, David Clubley comes and joins us, Sean Creed of 3D Tabletop, I hope I've said that right, he's going to kill me if I haven't, and Tom Welsh. So that's kind of the backstory, and the question from Mr. Clubley is, who would win in a fight? 3 Sean-sized Lukes or 1 Luke-sized Sean?
Ooh. So 3 Sean-sized me's.
Yep.
Or 1 me-sized Sean. I'll go for the first one. So 3 Sean-sized me.
Yeah, I would have gone for the 3 over the 1.
Yeah, numbers. Yeah. Plus also, I don't know what Sean's fighting style is like, so even if I'm a little bit smaller.
I'm going to go with Scrappy.
A lot of kicking and biting.
Kicking and biting, indeed.
So yeah, that would be my answer. What would you? Should we do that then? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So just for context, I'm 6'1", about 15, 16 stone, something like that, and then Sean is 5'7".
Yeah.
About 8 stone.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Bonner, indeed, trapping wins games.
Indeed, yeah. So 3-on-1.
Yeah. So, I think we should kick off with how we got into the hobby. You fire away first.
So, mine was quite a bit different from a lot of the interviews you've had already. So I didn't know anything about the battle games in Middle-earth till about 2 or 3 years ago. So my first experience with the game was, I think I was about 13, 14. So this would have been a couple of years after Return of the King came out.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine had a table in his shed, a load of random models, and I saw it one day and thought, okay, I've seen the films, like these, I'll give it a go. Played a few games, really interested. I think the most memorable one I can remember was the Balrog versus like however many riders of Rohan, however many points the same was that.
Oh
We
god.
didn't really follow the normal sort of rules because we didn't know. We just knew the sort of the core basics, didn't know anything like army building, that sort of thing. Just had a bit of fun, really. So yeah, that was about 14 years ago. And then took a break because I didn't have my own models. I moved away. I don't think I got back into it until 2013 or 14, around the time the first Hobbit film. So I saw that was coming out, and something clicked in my mind. Oh yeah, I used to play this game. So I did a search online and thing. I think I found a YouTube channel, LOTRSB Battle, like that.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think he was
think
like
they're
the
still
OG.
putting out a little bit of content actually.
I think he was like the OG guy back in the day, before GBHL did. Saw that, and then I went on eBay just to see what there was, and I saw the Minds of Moria box set. Picked that up for quite cheap actually as a uni student, which was good.
Excellent.
Um, it's just sort of grown from there really. I was in South Wales at the time, University of South Wales, and then I posted on the Facebook page about players in Cardiff. That's where I got into Firestorm. That's where I met you,
Yep.
and from there, so yeah.
I was going to say you're
So
kind of a relatively recent player for someone of our age, I would say.
yeah, so it's only been the last 4 or 5 years I've been properly playing. Um, so yeah, quite a newbie to it all, really. I've always watched the films, I've read that, I've never sort of ventured past that. So yeah, about 2013, 14. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So I
So what's
started.
your story?
Oh god, I started when I was 9, I want to say. So I had a friend in primary school. Went over his house a lot. He then went, "Oh, I've got these models," and it was just a case of. I don't even think we played any kind of pseudo game. We just did. We just spoke about them, and then we went to the GW in Cribs Causeway. That's definitely
Okay.
one thing I remember, like really clearly. Um, and so from there, I got some of my own stuff. This is all fantasy, by the way. So I got some. I remember getting the bats and little spiders and little rats. They were like this little. What are they? They're like, you know, the spaceman packs where you got like 3 and they were in like a kind of about that size, so not very big.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was kind of a box that size. And then got into Empire stuff for fantasy. Didn't have that many or that much, but kind of enjoyed that and got painting that. And then the films came out. I remember having the Fellowship of the Ring on video. I'm pretty sure I watched that. Then I saw Two Towers in the cinema, and then had some family friends come over and bring Return of the King. So I watched that and was thoroughly enthralled by it. The one thing I remember is sitting like this on the floor, lead on the floor, like probably like a meter from the TV screen, watching
Is that
the
not the normal way? Am I the first to do that?
watching the Charge of the Rohirrim and the Pelennor.
Nice.
And I don't know if I'd already had some models, but that definitely made me go, right, I want some models. And at that point, I would have been, yeah, 10, 11 probably. So then from there for birthdays and Christmases, from then on, I kept asking for more models. It was when like the battle hosts were out.
Yeah.
So you got loads of models for like 50 quid. It was a really decent price. And I just went from there. I remember there was a Warhammer club at my secondary school, kind of once a week after school, and I played the Return of the King era rules. We probably didn't play it properly. I remember
I don't think many people did when they first started.
No, I remember volley fire being a thing, which sucked when you had Isengard
Right.
crossbows. So I remember distinctly from growing up. My first two armies were Gondor and Isengard. I have a bit of Isengard painted, and I have like my first lot of Gondor that I've repainted in years, literally just finishing. So and then like kind of I think most teenagers drifted in and out of it. Had phases where I do loads of it and phases where I do none of it. And then went to uni, met Sean, who said, "Oh, I used to do 40k," and then I was like, "Oh, I need to bring my stuff back up to uni, get back into painting it," and haven't really looked back. We went to Firestorm, I think, a little bit earlier than you did, and then we met from there. And then by chance, me and you, I moved back home to Chippenham, and you moved to Chippenham because of work.
Yeah, just bizarre coincidence.
Yeah, massive coincidence. So kind of that's my journey through it. I never got any of the magazines. I don't even remember seeing them on the shelves. I remember I used to get White Dwarfs, but I never saw the magazines. So yeah, I've been along for 17 years now, I think it is. But never picked up the magazines, which is quite interesting.
It's weird that, yeah. So I don't remember seeing that as a kid and everything. But yeah, it's just weird that some people, that's how they started, and some people never seen them before. So.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we'll jump in with a question from the comments, because there is one. And it's the model you have the most emotional attachment to from Mr. Dave Sweeting.
Oh, okay.
I've just tried to think about that as well, and quickly look at collection.
Look at the collection. That's what we can do it.
Yeah.
So one would probably be the Balrog model I've got.
Yeah.
I got that as a present. Probably one about when I first started from the girlfriend, and it's one of the most iconic scenes from my childhood. The whole Minds of Moria stuff. Also, my Day 9 foot, the new Dane. That was at my first big event at Ardacon and released all of the Iron Hill stuff. And he's been painted like ever since. One of my early paint jobs, not too bad actually. And yeah, it just brings that memory of, oh, this is all new and exciting to me, and it all just always floods back to me when I play with him. So yeah. So yeah, Dane and the Balrog would probably be the ones that I've got most attachment to.
Emotional attachment to, oh god.
You've got a lot to choose.
Yeah, I know. Some of them have got more attachment because of value.
Yes.
Less so nowadays because they're all coming back. But probably either my Mahud King.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Imrahil or Forlong, I think.
Okay.
Or my Witch King with a sword up. The mounted that chap.
Okay.
It'll be one of those four.
One of those.
Because they're the armies I play. They're the leaders of those armies. I really, really like them.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've done well with those armies. You've got awards and painting with those guys as well. So.
Yeah.
So that makes.
Yeah. That's kind of about it.
Nice.
Alistair, whose beard is better?
Obviously.
I will have to admit defeat to that. Have to admit defeat to that.
In need of a bit of a tidy up, but
Yeah, well, that'd be alright. Alistair, how's yours coming along? So, your favourite aspect of the hobby?
favorite aspect. So I like just having fun games.
Yeah.
Whether it's just we meet up and have a casual game, or a tournament, I play someone I know, we both know a good game. That's the best bit. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, as long as you have. I think if you do that with someone you know, the better. But then if you can get someone that you've never played a game with and have that experience, it's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like all aspects of the hobby. I'm gonna be that awkward
Oh
person.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like it all. It's just trying to pick one. That would probably be my go-to.
yeah, I think playing the games is probably mine. Actually, no, I lie. I do know what it is. It's building the models, like physically putting
Okay,
them together,
right.
and doing like conversions and stuff like that. Getting, I just read some of the comments. So, uh, yeah, I don't know why it's clipping them off the sprues, tidying them up, attaching bits and pieces that's needed. I don't know. I just find it really therapeutic. It's probably the way.
That sort of Lego aspect, isn't it? I don't know why Lego is so appealing to everyone, but it just is.
Yeah,
You're building something from parts into something that resembles something that you know and recognize.
yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I like painting. You probably you'll know that. And I think anyone who follows our channel probably will know that I like painting. I think I'm at 150 models for the year already. So, uh, however, uh, near the end of batches and groups of models, I do get frustrated. Um, so, like, my last 12 Corsairs took me quite a while. So, like, 6 Reavers, 6 Arbalesters. That took me quite a
Yeah.
while. I'm on 2 banners of 2 Knights of Minas Tirith with banner, and I'm literally just doing the final, like the white over the grey on the banners, and that's doing my head in. But I have just painted 12 plastic knights to go along with them. So yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of my least favorite aspect is getting to near the end of something and wanting to move on, but in my head, no, I can't. Otherwise, these will never get done.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's that sort of impatient. You've got all these other models that you need to do. It's just maybe there's that extra final steps, so those final highlights that need doing.
Yeah,
It can be a bit tough sometimes. But yeah, you've got to persevere, and obviously the rewards are there to be seen.
yeah. Like I say, once they're done, I'm happy with them. But yeah, it's awkward. Ali's just asked a really relevant question. Least favorite model you've ever built or painted? To the collection again.
Yeah,
Putting stuff together that's metal is a pain. It's a real pain.
yeah.
From memory, I think Gulliver was a bit annoying to put together.
I
However,
don't have that too many big models.
yeah,
I've got two of the plastic Beasts. They're quite easy to put together. The Monarch actually is nice and easy to go together.
yeah, there's a bit of green stuff needed, but barring that,
Yeah, but
it's not too difficult. Um,
I'd probably really.
Boromir's flag on his mounted model, just trying to pin that arm was a little bit of a pain. But other than that, I do a lot of converting. So if something doesn't quite fit, then I'm quite happy to shave it off and pin it or whatnot. Least favorite model to be painted. Anything where the eyes are molded a little bit weird. So when I draw my eyes on, they're either way too high or way too low. That's a pain.
Yeah. So I'd probably go for, even though I've got loads of them, with Plastic Goblin Warriors. Just because you have to do so many.
Yeah.
No matter what size army you have to do.
That's why you've got all the monsters.
That's why I have as many monsters, yeah. But yeah, even though they're one of the first ones that came out, they still hold up pretty well. It's just obviously the lack of variety, and it's all mostly the same colours. Unless you go on like an outlandish scheme, it's so difficult to make them stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go for those guys. That are the least favourites. Luckily, I've done all like.
You need some more Mulberry Goblins, though, don't you?
I do. I don't have enough problem somehow. There's a whole shelf. I think I've got 40 plus just your normal plastic goblins. So yeah, that's definitely.
So
what's your?
Carry on.
Sorry, what was your least favourite to paint? It was just any model with the eyes.
Yeah, I think the eyes. There was a model recently that I didn't necessarily. Oh, I painted Dalamir alongside Delgamar, and there's a massive difference.
Oh yeah. I can imagine that was quite annoying.
Yeah. Painting Urukai. They were really boring. I did it, but I didn't necessarily enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed painting my 48 Haradrim that I did a couple of months back. But yeah, anything that's really kind of basic with like not many colours. Saying that, I've actually quite enjoyed doing my Knights of Minas Tirith, and but then they're quick and easy.
Yeah, it's like Army of the Dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily difficult, but you can put the effort in and make them look.
Yeah.
Make them look good.
Definitely. Do you have like a certain balance you want to strike up when doing hobby between terrain or painting and playing? Because I know we used to try and meet up once every 2 weeks or so for a game.
Once every 2 weeks, and before lockdown and everything, I think we were trying to get some a week.
Yeah,
which is what I'd like to do, even if it's just a small game or just nice and fun. Once a week would be my ideal sort of gaming thing.
I think because we've got the five Guardians is kind of how I refer it to us. Then it's quite easy to, because I know Sean and Tom are watching this and they're at Sean's house at the moment.
They are, yeah.
Because it's just we just got the little chat and it's just right. Who wants a game? Who can fit it in when? And then we go from there. So
yeah. So once a week a game. Painting wise, I will just literally pick up what I can and do it. I've had my Morannon Commander pack on my desk here for about a week and a half now, and they are set done. So, and that's been doing like the odd 5-10 minutes every other day sort of thing. My painting schedule is just so haphazard.
See, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just do 5 minutes here and there.
So I've got a random banner there. The bottom half has got his base colours. I've now got to do the banner colours. And I've just left it there for about 2 days now.
Yeah, I tend to set out what models I kind of want to do each month. I've been trying to do it with my hobby vlogs. I do think I've bitten off a bit more than I can chew the last 2 months, so I'm going to try and scale it back. But no, I kind of like you. I'd like to get a game in at least once every 2 weeks. And then
When we had our first game not post COVID, but when we could, I couldn't remember what to do. We hadn't played a game for, it must have been a good 4 months.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, 3.5, 4 months or something like that. And it was just like, okay, I broadly remember what the rules are. Go with it. Yeah, otherwise I will forget what my models do if I don't get a game in a week as well.
Yeah.
Part of it.
If we jump to the comments, because I know Dave Sweeting's got worst hobby accident.
It's not too triggering.
I don't think I've had many.
I think everyone's done the known oil tip over.
Yeah.
Agrax. That's a given. I think I've done that once a year since I started painting. So I have. Yeah, I can't think of what.
I like to, when I'm cleaning up models, I let me get an example model and my knife. So when cleaning up stuff, let's try and do it this way. I like to push it against my thumb, or that way even, and so I'll get lots of little lines across my thumb.
Oh yeah.
I do that relatively often when I'm cleaning up models. Stab myself with craft knives and pin vices. Pin vices suck. Especially
I've never used one.
Especially the tungsten ones when going into a metal model and they snap, because they always snap at an angle, and they give you nice little pin pricks.
I just in Ali's comment there. I'm not going to say anything to them. Nothing to do with eating at the tournament, whatever. Yeah, let's move
on. Oh god, Dave said he had an earthquake and a high elf dragon fell off the top shelf. I have never done that. I am terrified about dropping models.
You're going to be terrified of what you do with your Smaug now, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's an earthquake.
No. Oh god, who was it? There's a guy who took one to the GT. I can't remember his name for the life of him, and he had Smaug and Dale as his two armies. It might have been Sam McGuinness. I remember seeing it on the GBHL, and he dropped his Smaug the night before, and it's all hand painted and no airbrushing, and it was like, oh, that's horrendous.
Dear God.
Yeah. No, so I've stabbed myself a few times, but apart from that, I am generally okay.
Yeah, I've had the odd cut in the finger and sliced, obviously with the hot but.
Yeah. So if we go on to collections, we'll come back to Sean and Mr. Clark's comments in a bit. Size your collection. Easier for you to go first on this one.
Yeah, so I've got one of those IKEA cabinet things with a few extra shelves out to buy, and that's 1, 2, 3. It's got 6 shelves full. Model count wise, I have no idea. I did a count when I packed it up before we moved in April. I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
That's what you need to do over the next day. That's all it'll take you.
It will take me, if I get them all out now, it'll take me that's what I'm not going to do. I don't have that many. They're all on show, so I don't have anything hidden away.
I would say a couple of hundred.
Yeah, 250 maybe, possibly 300 with new additions. I've had, about 300.
Yeah.
So it's not much, but.
No, we'll go into what armies have you got then for everyone.
So, armies. So I've got Warrior. That's got, in terms of the big heroes, Balrog, Wiltshire, and the Cave Drake. I've then got the main, well, not all the main heroes, but Durbers, Groblog, Captain, Shaman, the 2 captains and a Shaman. Some Prowlers, Bat Swarm, Converting Walk Marauder, Trolls, about 40 Goblins. So I think that's about 60 from Warrior. I've got more elves than goblins. Yeah, high elves my biggest army. So that's pretty much everything. I think the only thing I don't have is Gildor.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've
Yeah,
got Glorfindel and Gilgalad on horse now, haven't you?
yes, thanks to you.
Yeah.
And I converted Stormcaller that I can't use anymore.
Well, you can. You can. It's just not as
Never
good.
goes.
It's just not as good.
I've then got an Iron Hills army. That's for about 750, 800 points worth. Maybe 900. I don't think I can push 1,000. My Mordor army is starting to grow since lockdown. That was my big project, get Mordor done. So I got a Gothmog's Legion
Oh yeah, I forgot you've got them.
going. Yeah. I've got a small Army of the Dead with the King Force. And then just some random small models, Mummock as well.
Yeah.
It's not expensive.
Let's also say you have Harry Potter stuff as well, don't you?
Yeah, so that's something I branched out into a couple of years ago. I've got a shelf of that. That's about 30 models. Yeah, I've got nothing left to paint.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, model count, 300, 350 maybe.
Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Yours is like 10 times that.
So I counted mine 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and I have just shy of 2,600 models.
Painted?
Painted, I have 840, I want to say. So I actually have like a third of my collection painted, which I'm kind of happy with. I thought it might be less. I thought it might be less. So most of my stuff is Lord of the Rings era. I have some Hobbit stuff, and none of it is painted, unless you want to go Radagast Alliance, but that's kind of a little bit of a cop out.
You got the Nazgul.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I've got the Dark Powers of Dol Guldur, the 9, the Necromancer, and the Keeper painted, and then the only other thing I've got from the Hobbit that's painted is Beorn, obviously Man and Bear. So it's probably easier to list the armies I don't have. So from the Hobbit era, the only armies I have from memory are Army of Thrall, Iron Hills, Azog's Legion, Azog's Hunters, and then Dark Powers. I'm not going to count Radagast Alliance because that's basically Misty Mountains. Then from the Lord of the Rings era, I don't have Sharky's Rogues. I don't have Canned, and I don't have Moria. I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, I don't have Numenor. I'm not interested in Numenor at all, Mr. Ben Stanley.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've got. The armies I've got painted, a Rangers of the Thillian force with 24 converted veterans and about the same number of Rangers, a massive fiefdoms force painted, 50 Army of the Dead painted with King and Banner, an Angmar army that can probably go up to 1,500 points, Assault upon Helm's Deep Legion, kind of higher Rivendell and Lothlorien with kind of some of the heroes painted. I've got about 36 warriors for each. Like I say, Eagles, Gwaihir, Beorn. I've got White Council, the Fellowship on the Mines Moria base. I've got some Fellowship who are foot mounted, so that's Legolas, Gandalf the White, Gandalf the Grey, and Aragorn. I've got a sizable Mordor force coming along. Then I've got some Haradrim, some Corsairs, a Mahud army that once it's all painted will be 1,000 points plus. If you include War Leader, it'll probably be about 1,500 points. and then some Easterlings that are painted, and some Knights of Minas Tirith. I do have 3 Monarchs and 3 Fell Beasts up the top, which are the Fell Beasts are done, the Monarchs are nearly done. So I have a lot.
Wow.
And then if I move this way, that shelf
All of
there is all unbuilt and painted models. So yeah, quite a lot. It's probably more than most, to put simply. Your favourite miniature, or if we covered that? Oh, that's emotional attachment. Maybe. Right. We'll move on. Underrated models.
Underrated model, what? In terms of...
Sculpt, profile, whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit it off with...
Yeah, you go.
Forlong. Actually, no, Imrahil.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really weird.
Not, I wouldn't say underrated, but yeah.
Like I think most of the fiefdom series are slightly underrated until you go and put them in a force, and people are like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree.
Hood Tribesmaster is quite underrated for what he does, how I use him in my armies. I normally got one on the foot with a shield, so he can just he gives the courage buff.
Yeah, I'd go for. I'd probably go the Watcher in the Water.
Yeah, it's a pain.
He can be an absolute game changer. I think people are starting to realise that in the new edition, he is much better.
Yeah.
Than what he used to be. Yeah, I think if I was doing a 650 list, it's done. Watcher and then 400 points of Goblin. and a Bat Swarm. Yeah, it's just the ability to pop up wherever you want him straight away.
Yeah.
Obviously with a dice roll, but you're more likely to get that than not. Drag things away. So if that's going to be a banner or a hero that's in trouble. So I've done it on. I've done it with Imrahil. Dragged him away from a combat. Not against you.
I was going to say you've not done that against me.
No, but yeah, dragged him away from a combat. Charged the Batstorm in, and yeah, he's. Gambling is another big one.
Yeah,
I always do too. I've done to Sean a couple of times.
Yeah, gambling, you just want to get away, don't
you? Yeah, get rid of that. Obviously, the banner, the free might, and everything. Yeah, he's 200 points. Yeah, 200 points.
250, isn't he?
250, yeah. So he's expensive, but you can easily get rid of your opponent's model as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
In terms of like wise, I like a lot of the new Forge Wars. I think I was painting it at the start of lockdown in Gurit.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely Gurit is stunning.
I really like painting Zagdush. Really like painting Zagdush.
Yeah, I think that what they're doing now with the Forge World plastic.
Yeah, definitely. So if we go on to the gaming side of things, because then we can answer some of these questions. So we've established I don't play any other systems. I have enough models to be getting on with that I don't need to worry myself with other systems. You've said you obviously play a little bit of Harry Potter. That's been more recent.
Yeah, so not too many games. But yeah, so it's a Night Models production. It came about 2 years ago, I think it came out. There's been some sort of teething problems, I will say, with the rules. Not so much the rules as the gameplay. I've had a couple games where the scenario length specifies, say, like 6 or 8 turns, you can't physically do the objectives in that time.
Oh, that was the one
So it's
we
based on
played, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, this is going back a while now.
Oh, like easily over a year ago.
Yeah, you've got to try and get across the board in, say, 6 turns to get an objective. Your models can only move. They're on like it's like on a tile board. You can move 3 spaces. So if you're more than 18 spaces away,
you can't do it. Yeah.
And they're quite big boards. It's sort of like half an A3 sort of side.
Yeah.
Size. So yeah, sometimes it can just be impossible to do those sort of things. The actual how you play the game and how you control the models is really fun, because you're casting spells, and if you're into that sort of Harry Potter world, you know what the spells do, you know what the character. But it hasn't gained as much popularity as it has Spain, where it's Spain is massive.
Oh, okay.
There's been a few tournaments in the UK that have happened, but either they're too far away. There's like some that hold in Leeds, there was one in Carmarthen, I think.
Oh, wow.
Last year. The nearest one would be Cheltenham, but I was doing something else that week.
Okay.
So I was getting a start. It would have been nice to actually play it competitively. Other systems, I'm branching out to 40k. Split a box of the new Indomitus box with Sean. Hasn't come because we had to get it on the made to order type thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that's coming. But I'm gonna give it a go. Why not?
Yeah, it's something I've dabbled in the past, and Sean will attest to this, that I didn't enjoy it. I don't know whether it was the edition or the people I played with / against in the store, because I know I played kind of with a couple of people and just didn't get into it.
Yeah, no, it's just like I say, we're splitting the Indomitus box. So if I don't like it, I will either just give the rest to him or sell it on, whatever, to someone who will.
I was going to say, because Ali's asked us, if you weren't able to play SBG anymore, what system appeals to you the most? And I honestly don't know.
There's a lot that appeals.
I'd probably give 40k a go.
Yeah, I think that's a sort of the standard thing to fall back on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a Games Workshop production, so we know it.
The models for Warcry look really good.
Yeah.
The models for Warcry.
Blood Bowl was what we said we want to get into as well, actually.
Yeah.
Have a game of Blood Bowl, but that's like.
I've
been intrigued.
We tried Guild Ball, didn't we? Me and you tried Guild Ball.
Yes.
Because you won it in a raffle or something.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, tried it. I think once you know the rules, it's one of those games where you can just play it.
Yeah.
Continuously. It takes that time to get into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been intrigued by Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Oh, yes, that's a good shout.
I've watched a few back reps. I've seen the models, people painting the models and things. They are actually the models.
You're wearing a massive Marvel t-shirt.
I am, yeah. I am. I'm just a big nerd. Anything like that I'm into. But yeah, that's appealed to me. It's just the cost at the minute. Obviously, I want to build up my SBG stuff and the extra cost for Marvel. It's not a cheap system.
Not at all. That's the thing that's put me off.
Yeah, the starter box is good value because you get 10 miniatures.
Yeah.
And you can probably pick it up for about 60, 65 quid. It's just all the expansions to get maybe the characters that you want. They're not the cheapest.
No, not at all.
I like Star Wars, so I've always wanted to play Star Wars Legion since that came out. That's another one. Anything that is based on something that I like watching or have seen or have read, I will probably want to. there was a Kickstarter last year for the Jurassic World miniature game. It's a card game / board game with miniature, and they're massive dinosaurs. So,
I was going to say it's more kind of bigotries, isn't it?
yeah, it's some of them are actually. Yeah, that's supposed to be coming in the autumn. So
that's a very loose time frame.
It's being produced in China.
Okay.
It's the company's in France,
but
who had a massive down.
Yeah.
And then the model's been printed in China, which is also
fair enough.
It's a waiting game.
Yeah. So I think the people who know us will know that we like to play competitively, but also in really good spirits.
Yeah.
We're not one to throw toys out the pram, etc. And hopefully we'll get back to doing bat reps soonish.
Hopefully, yes.
We have plenty of people who can help us. Yes, we're looking at you, Sean, Tom, Clubley. So kind of that's the idea. You'll see there that we'll have some really fun games. But Nano Dave, which is Mr. Clark from our Team Wales, says, "What's your favourite army to take to a tournament, and why?"
Ooh, elves. High elves.
High elves. Have you got your best placing with them?
Yeah, first place.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That was Bristol 80 pointer, wasn't it? 80 point
Bristol 80 point. Yeah,
80 point GB.
Rivendell Knights before they got nerfed.
Before the Wrath of Brunnen got nerfed.
Before the Wrath of Brunnen nerf, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those armies that that was my first tournament army. High elves. That was the first major army I collected. Always try and sort of move away from it, do new things. But yeah, I'd probably say every other or every 1 in 3 tournaments it'll be elves.
Yeah.
I just really like elves.
See, I really hate playing with elves. I just don't get on with them.
Yeah, you struggle. Yeah,
it's really weird. I can use I can use most other armies. I just don't enjoy getting on with elves.
Yeah, it's not like you play them differently. You play them how they should. It's just it doesn't seem to work out for you.
No, not at all. So my favourite armies to take to tournament, it would be the 3 that I love the most. So it's Fiefdoms, Angmar, Mahud.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed. So I've won a 80 pointer with Mahud. I also really like taking Eagles. So I've done well at a 750 point force with Radion, Slay, Guahir, and 4 Eagles. That was really fun. That was quite challenging, and getting my head around certain bits and pieces was quite difficult, but really, really enjoyable. If I want to try and do well, the first thing I look to is Angmar. I really like it. I played it in the old edition. I play it in this one. They're a pain for people to play against.
Yeah.
I
don't think I've ever beat your Angmar.
It's one of those forces where I don't tend to play it when we're having pickup games. I taught.
Especially the way you build an Angmar list as well.
Yeah, you won't have any fun with your heroes. Your heroes won't do anything. Having taught Sean the game, us teaching Sean the game, and then me bringing out my Angmar army and going, right, let's play some competitive stuff, and him going, I literally can't do anything. And then I really enjoy playing with fiefdoms, and I tend to do relatively well with them. I don't think I've taken anything else recently. I possibly will be looking to take Corsairs to an event sometime. I think they're really cool. I do need to paint more up, and I'm not in the mindset at the moment. But yeah, if I was going competitive, the first thing I'd probably look at is Angmar. Just I know them inside out, and they're not an army that is seen that often on the UK scene.
No, you see a few. If you're looking at maybe a 50-player event, you see a few of them.
Yeah,
but
maybe a couple, but not massive.
If you were going to your local event, it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
An Angmar.
Saying that, there's a couple of players in the Bristol area that play Angmar that I can think of. Well, including me, 4 off the top of my head. So,
Okay.
it's something that I've seen relatively frequently. And Sean's asked us what's most hated profile. I presume that means he means to play against.
I assume so, yeah.
Oh gosh.
I've got 2 lined up.
Yeah.
Gambling with his stupid banner. And then also Barrow White.
I was going to say, I thought you might say Barrow White.
It might just be you and Sean, to be fair. I always seem to struggle against your Angmar and his Rohan. He's always got gambling, and you've always got 2 Barrow Whites. So it's just like,
yeah.
I know how I can deal with them. It's just I can't when I'm playing the game.
So my most hated profile, Kiran was a pain before the FAQ.
Yeah.
I don't actually think I played him before the FAQ. I know he was a pain. Okay. Other than that, I don't think I have a profile which I hate.
No, I think obviously the game's been around for a while now, so those
maybe Celeborn.
Dodgy profiles. Celeborn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, not hate, underwhelmed Celeborn and some of the other Lothlorien profiles. Just on paper compared to Rivendell, there's not really a contest.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, I don't think there's a profile which I just go, every time. Dane, every time I see him, is a little bit of here we go again. And that's probably because playing you.
Yeah, that's true. When I'd say for you, probably before it was FAQ, would have been the Iron Hills Blist.
Yeah.
You never got on with that against me. I know that. I don't know if you played it at a tournament.
No, I don't think I've ever played it played against it at a tournament. That was a mouthful. But no,
I think most things that were maybe unbalanced or a little bit dodgy have now sort of fixed themselves, which is good.
Yeah, and like I've been lucky I've not played the Rangers and Thillion yet. I played with them at 650, and I didn't take max bows because I wanted some veterans for Defense 6. But not necessarily my playstyle, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like lots of synergy and lots of things buffing each other, which is why I like my Mahood, my Angmar, my Fiefdoms. Ali's asked who's the better player out of us 2. I'm gonna guess.
I hate admitting it, but it's you.
What's our tournament record? I think it's 2-1 to me.
Versus. So what have we played? We played Cardiff.
So we played in Cardiff, which I had Burda, Shagrat, Shaman, because it was the old rules.
Yeah, old edition, yeah, and I had a mummer.
Yeah, so you caused me to spend all 3 might with Burda because I rolled a 1 on my fate because you caused 3 wounds.
Yeah. And I got a lucky heroic move off.
Yeah, you killed so many. Then we played at Cheltenham.
Yeah, so that was Iron Hills against Angmar. You won that.
Yeah, you decimated my army, but it was fog of war, and I killed your captain and ran away.
Yeah, yeah. You held your barrel back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've played one other time.
I think we played.
Or have we? Is it 1-1?
I think we've only played a couple times.
I honestly don't know.
I'm trying to think what else you would have played against.
Yeah.
You've not played my Mario in a tournament.
No. No, it might be only the twice then.
I think it's only twice. So yeah, based on that, then we're equal.
Yeah.
But I will reluctantly say that you are the better player.
You've definitely improved a hell of a lot since we first started playing.
Yeah, so I think it was 2018. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go competitive. That was my first competitive. No, was it 18 or 19?
18 was when we did lots of tournaments. 18 was when we did a lot of tournaments. I can't remember.
I think it was about a couple of years ago. I decided, right, I'm gonna try and do well. I think that was my first year trying to get a league placing as well.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I was going to say, I think in leagues, for the last 2 years, I've been between 12th and 16th in the GBHL. Something like that.
So yeah, my highest was, I think I was top 30 last year, which I was dead chuffed about. My goal was this year to try and maybe just go a little bit better, maybe top 25, but I don't know that where I am now, I don't look. I think that's it, really, isn't it?
I have no idea what's going on with the league. We will let Alistair decide that.
But yeah, you've got experience playing with different armies.
Yeah.
So you can look at a points level and go, this would probably work better than this. Or if it's a good versus evil, or you've got to take certain things.
Yeah.
You know what is probably best to take. Whereas my little collection, I can still have a variety, no doubt about it. I just don't have the wider range to choose from, which I'm trying to work on.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, I think you playing against lots of different armies that I like in pickup games. I'm always trying something.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work.
I think that year we went to more tournaments was obviously the year that I think both of us got better as players.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the experience. You're under those pressure situations where a roll of a dice or a wrong choice can make a massive difference. So knowing when to use might or when to call certain heroics, that knowledge obviously builds and you get better as you play.
Yeah. So breaking news. This year's league is being merged with next year's league. Official announcement incoming.
So that means he's forgot to post.
Yeah, he's forgot to post that. So a combination from Mr. Bonner and Mr. Clark. What's a most favourite scenario and your most disliked from the match play?
Oh.
From the match play ones.
Disliked, I can go straight away and say Storm the Cat.
Yeah. See,
I haven't played many of the new ones. Not all. I don't think I played all of the new ones, but
where have we got them down here?
One of those, if you've got a similar army to your opponent, you know how the game's going to go.
Yeah, I think I've won a couple of Storm the Camps actually, because I know me and Clarky played. Me and Dave played at the 80 pointer in Bristol that I won, and I managed to sneak a couple of camels down the sides whilst holding up Boromir in the middle with some half trolls. And then I've played it again at Bristol against the Angmar army, and I think I snuck some guys into the camp then. But
it's one of those things where it will always come down to maybe the last turn or two if you can get models in.
yeah,
And
massively.
if your army is relatively slow and no shooty, like goblins, for example, against elves or Rangers of Athelia,
yeah,
you know you're not going to win. It's very not going to win. It's very difficult to do so.
Alistair's just gloating.
So
going through
I
this,
can remember, 4 or 5 storm the camps. I don't think I've lost one. I've won 3 and drawn 2, but even the wins were like 3-0 just for breaking.
I can tell you, I have lost one. I lost to Devon Moreno in the final round of Ardacon in 2018.
Yeah, you need team you needed. No, you needed me to not lose to Ben, who I was playing.
Yeah, it was something like that. So going through the scenarios, domination, fine. To the death, fine. Hold ground, fine. Lords of Battle, recon, fine. Maelstrom can screw you up a bit, but there's always ways to overcome that. Clash by Moonlight, actually really like that one. Seize the Prize, fine. Contest, fine. It can be a little awkward. Capture and Control, fine. Heirlooms can be a bit annoying. Purely from a Maelstrom, and if they pick it up first turn the other side of the board, they're just going to run away the whole time. Fog of War, like we've just got Storm the Camp. Command the Battlefield, I haven't played yet. Retrieval, I have played. You definitely need to get a shift on to pick up that flag. Breakthrough, we've played, and I played with elves, and I didn't like it. But that was purely because I was playing with Floshlorian. Destroy the Supplies seems really good. Divide and Conquer seems really interesting, and Assassination I played with Mr. Clubley, and again that's like your Fog of War, Clash by Moonlight. It's really I like those kind of scenarios.
Good fun. It's not saying Storm the Camp is a bad scenario. It's just you can 90% be sure of how the game is going to go. It's it's the cagiest game that you'll ever play.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Most favourite, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. Yeah, mine's the Fog of War, Clash by Moonlight, Assassination, those kind of ones where you've got to play the bluff as well.
Yeah, you're obviously killing stuff, which is part of the fun, but it's tactical.
Yeah, most definitely. So, do you pick an army generally on miniatures or rules?
I normally go for miniatures. So I always go for something that will either reignite sort of something in the films or the books, or something that looks cool. So my first army was, I said, the High Elves. I think they were pretty cool, as they're sort of gold and blue. And then I saw a paint scheme for red and silver, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. And I was really happy with it. But yeah, most of the time it will be just how they look, really.
Yeah.
I don't think I've chosen an army based on, or picked up an army based on how they'll play, because it can change.
You can play them completely differently, can't
you? So what about you?
I pretty much have all the armies. And I don't paint models necessarily. Well, I'm trying not to paint models for tournaments nowadays. I'm going through Gondor at War. I discussed this in some of the other community interviews. I'm going through Gondor at War and painting what I need for kind of the next scenarios, and working through it that way. So that's where I'm kind of doing a bit of Corsairs here, Harad here, some Gondor now. I've got some Orcs next, and then the dismounts for my Knights. So yeah, I don't know. If I pick an army on for a tournament, it's probably on because I think it will do the best, but I'm not entirely set on doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the rules or the miniatures. I'm getting to the point now where I'm not actually buying that many models. I'm just adding the ones I'm missing. So, like for my birthday, that was nearly a week ago. I know, like 4 days ago. That's gone really quickly, or slowly. I got Helm Hammerhand and Haleth and Aldor. They won't be painted any time in the near future. I've still got some models from last birthday that aren't even built. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment with how I collect armies. I don't think I will start a new army for a long time. The only one that I kind of want to do is Survivors of Lake Town, but I know that's going to be a lot of money and a lot of time. So in my head, I'm not pushing myself that way.
Cool.
So yeah, so kind of if we're looking at factions and what is top tier and what's not for you, is there a clear?
So I don't think there is a clear line.
I'm gonna turn my lights on.
I think.
Huzzah!
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear line as what is certain tiers. I think it depends on obviously who's playing them.
Yeah.
How long they've played with them.
Yeah, definitely.
And also the scenario as well. It's ones that sort of spring to mind is probably in the right hands. It's got to be Iron Hills.
Yeah.
At certain points levels.
I was gonna say I think every army's got a niche, like a certain points level where they actually really fit in.
So yeah, Iron Hills probably allied with Erebor Reclaimed is really good. You can chuck in Rose Hall, not Rose Halls or Lake Town or whatever to get that alliance.
Yeah.
Can't really go wrong with that. Some of the Riders of Theoden Legion, I think, is always going to do pretty well if you know how to play with them again.
Yeah, they're one of the ones where I think if you can shut down gambling relatively early, it's not too bad.
Yeah, and if you can sort of manipulate it so that their charges aren't as effective, and if they're called to death, say in the first turn, they haven't got that many targets, and they can't reach other heroes for it.
Yeah,
you can sort of minimise the casualties. Haven't played with it, but I've obviously seen that the defenders at Helm's Deep can do pretty well. The assault on Helm's Deep as well. So those two legions, can be, well, especially the Isengard side of that, can be devastating.
Yeah, we've had a pseudo doubles game where it was you and Sean versus myself in one of the new doubles scenarios, and the bomb can be horrific.
Yeah. I think in terms of if you're just a normal player, maybe starting out wanting to do relatively well, I don't think you can go wrong with Harad.
Yeah, I think Suladan the Betrayer is definitely a solid way to start.
Yeah, there's not much you can go wrong with, and then you can obviously add to it as well as you get to it. The Return of the King Legion as well. That's got to be up there, especially at the sort of Good v Evil tournament.
Yeah, it always pops up. I think everyone's discussed Rangers of Athelion at low points, so we'll quickly skip that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say because I've not played against it and I've not played with it, so
it is. It can be quite powerful, and that's a massive understatement. I will be obviously we haven't had that many tournaments this year since the War and Rohan books come out. I would be really interested to see how the Rise of Aemir does and the Path of the Druidan at your kind of 600-700 points.
I think Riders of Aemir could be. It's not on the same level, I don't think, as Riders of Theoden.
No, I don't think so.
But that similar sort of army build, plus then Gandalf, who can do a bit more utility.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be interesting.
I think in a straight matchup, Riders of Aemir versus Riders of Theoden. Riders of Aemir could skirt away for a long time with blinding lights and take out horses.
Yeah.
Or even kill gambling. And then they're in a bit of trouble. They do have a lot more heroes to strike with, etc. But if you're knocking people off horses and whatnot, then it's a different story. We'll quickly jump back to the comments because Stephen Bonner asks, from our forces, what would you like to see added as a troop or a hero? I don't know. Added as a troop or a hero?
I would like to see a bit more variety in the elf side of it. Not necessarily a new profile, because I don't think they need it. Just a bit more variety in terms of poses, maybe.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what was in the Legions of Middle-earth book. Because there were some really cool ideas in there, and I've got it down here somewhere, and I can't for the life of me see it. Oh, there it is. Because I know there's some cool stuff in here. I know. Probably no one will agree with me. Like a Corsair siege bow. Because they have them on ships. Granted, they're an already very shooty army, and I imagine it would work some way similar to an Avenger bolt thrower. But that would be cool. Quite cool. I don't think the Hood need any more, to be honest. They've got everything they need, really. Model for Black Dragon, sorry. I've just seen Dragon Guard in the Legions of Middle-earth book.
Yeah, possibly. It makes them stand out a bit.
Yeah. Other than that, I know
it's not in the films or the books or anything, but maybe a named Iron Hills character. I know they got Murin and Dra, but like a captain level.
Yeah, maybe.
Hero, maybe. I don't know, really.
I don't know. I think that's most of them, to be honest. Most of the other things are kind of. So Mr. Bonner said a werewolf. I don't think we'll ever get that. Corsair Siege Bow, definitely. That's one of the things that was in Legions of Middle-earth. An elf chariot. Yeah, it was a high elf chariot as well, Luke.
Yeah.
Goblin Town Archers. They definitely don't need it because you'll be spammed with about 20 archers. Isn't a berserker by nature not going to have a shield?
Yeah.
That would be my only concern.
Get a defense, bro, but they wouldn't have it, would they?
I would say they wouldn't be 2 attacks then.
Because they're a troop. Berserker.
Yeah.
They're just in Han and just swinging their axe.
They just don't care.
Yeah, don't know really.
I think that's about it, to be honest. I don't think I can think of anything else that I really want to see.
I'd love to see a Grand model.
Yeah. So Great Beasts are definitely something that I'm going to be investing in when they're back. Like 2 of them.
Are they not back on already?
They're out of stock. it's like some of the big stuff's out of stock, like that. The Watcher I had looked today.
Okay.
I have clicked the email me button before anyone says anything, but I still check like every day just in case. So, favorite points levels. I would say between 6. Actually, not between anything. Kind of 600 and up. I am all for big battles.
Yeah. So I'd probably say 750, 800. It's a nice level.
Because what did we play last week? It was 800, wasn't it?
Yes, 800.
Yeah, some people may have seen the photos on the Guardians. Guardian, don't you strong fist. On the Guardian
yeah,
page,
I think at that level,
it was Imrahil Boromir Forlong charging headlong into a Balrog and hoping for the best. And the best did
almost paid off.
The best did not happen.
Almost paid off.
I reduced you to 1 wound, and then you just hammered all my heroes.
Imrahil in a turn. Boromir in a turn.
It didn't help. I failed all 7 fate.
All 7 fate, and you had no might left because you used it to win the battle.
I used 9 points of might to win the battle to do 9 wounds.
No, definitely not worth it. I also like the sort of skirmish size, so like 450, 500. So you then got to choose whether you take a big hero, low numbers, or you just go your sort of heroes of fortune and spam.
I was going to say, saying 600 and up, I do like Into the West at 450.
Is that just because of the tournament itself, or the point?
Quite possibly.
Or the Saturday evening.
Quite possibly the tournament, the Saturday evening, and the points level. I just hate writing points. I just hate writing lists for 500 points.
It's difficult, yeah.
I just don't like it.
It's difficult.
Yeah. So going a little bit back, Jakob's just joined us. I think, or at least he's just commented. 3 most underpowered models. I'm going to take that as kind of you think they should be good, but they're not.
Yeah.
So for me, off the bat, Caliborn. For me, haven't used him, but just on paper, just doesn't look that amazing. No. Probably because he can't be mounted. That's probably literally the only reason. If he was mounted, he'd be amazing.
Yes.
Oh, underpowered. I don't know. I think everything's in a really good state at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rack my brains through all the different things. Faramir a little bit. He's sat literally on the table in front of me. Faramir a little bit maybe. I'm trying to think of what else. Look at models. I honestly don't know.
No.
Actually, I
can't think of anything really.
I think
there's nothing that in my collection that I wouldn't take anyway, depending on what I was doing. So
there's a lot of things that are glass cannons.
So yeah, that one thing I was thinking was probably the twins. So Eladan and Nell are hit.
Yeah, but then they can be stupidly good.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
I think for me, I think there's a lot of things that are glass cannons. Your Dalamirs, your Amders, that kind of thing.
But that's their role.
Oh yeah, massively.
Rules, so.
Massively, and
I'm not too sure.
I think Caliborn is definitely underpowered for what you think he is. By the same sense, Rumill's not as good as he used to be. I ran him a couple of times in the old edition.
I think Haldir should be a little bit better as well.
See, I think Haldir's fine.
I've always found him underwhelming to play again.
Yeah, I suppose I'm thinking of him in the Legendary Legion. He's a 5/6 model that can strike, so.
Yeah, interesting question. I can't think.
On a similar note from Mr. Bonner, most disappointing warrior profile.
Warrior profile.
Oh, that's tough. Corsairs being defense 3 when Survivors of Lake Town are defense 4. That's a disappointing stat though, not a warrior model.
Yeah, just warrior the one profile. Stat of a great profile. I'm trying to look in your shelf here. I
can't. Easterlings, because they lack to kill, but that's kind of the only thing they're forcing you, expecting the heroes to do most of the work. But again, that doesn't bother me. I don't know, because like people would say like Mordor orcs, but I found them to be annoying. Fine.
Oh yeah, Yakka's made a good point there.
Yeah.
Stormcallers.
Well, Angmar Orc Shaman as well. Having used the Shaman in the old edition, I think you won't see them in Angmar at all now. I have one painted as well. Really, really annoying. He's up there somewhere. There he is. I would disagree with Bayon being underpowered.
Yeah.
I think he's a lot of points for what he does, but if it comes off.
If it comes off, yeah.
You're smashing everything.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Ali's added Numenorian Bowmen, but they give you some range. However, we did have it in the quiz the other day. That they have steel bows in the lore, yet we don't have that in the game. Who knows? So going back to the tournament stuff, Clarky's asked an army we dislike when playing at a tournament. An army we dislike playing the most when playing at a tournament. Yeah, that's okay. Against.
It depends on what I'm taking. So at Cardiff this year, into the West, I took my Goblins, and I faced Riders of Theoden 4 times.
Out of 7 games?
Yeah.
How many of those did you win?
1.
Okay.
I think it was. I can't remember. I think it was a scenario where we started close up and I managed to get a charge in.
Okay.
Other than that, it was okay. I'm just going to sit back. Okay, now you're in range. I'm charging.
Yeah. I dislike playing Khazad-dûm or Moria. So I've played Ali, and I've played Ryan Wood once or twice with dwarves. And yeah, Durin is annoying to play against because he just doesn't die, and Ryan seems to manage to roll a 6 every time with him. And then Ali's dwarves slaughtered my Mahud, but it was heirlooms, so I just ran away and picked up all the prizes.
Yeah.
So.
There's nothing really that I see on the table and go, oh god, I've got no chance. Then there's nothing really that I'd see that would be okay. I'm going to completely smash him.
Yeah, I think like yeah, I definitely agree with you that I think we've both got to the point where we never assume we're going to win.
No, you
It
can
might.
never.
Oh, Ryan's jumped in. It's 3 times against the Dwarves. Yeah. And yeah,
1-1-1.
yeah, our record is currently one win to me, 1 draw, and 1 win to Ryan. and the wins have been like massive wins either way. So yeah, and so what was I going on about? Oh yeah, it depends on the scenarios and not assuming we would win. So
I think that's what you learn as you play a little bit more. That you will have that army. You think, okay, yeah, it's going to be easy. And you have that massive shock defeat. You think, oh, the
yeah,
game is not always going to go away.
yeah, I know. So for me, I remember playing Jason Tovey, I think it is, from Bristol, in a Clash by Moonlight, and I had my blowpipes on my hood, and he had Return of the King. So I'm going to target Aragorn, and yeah, killed him in a turn of blowpipes, and then you think, right, this will be a little bit easier now, and it was similar against a Moment War Leader with my blowpipes. I kind of just sat there and waited for him to get in range, and then blowpipe the hell out of him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my mind goes.
You have a strategy. Yeah, you have a strategy of what you need to do.
Yeah.
But as we say, either go 100% how you want it to, or completely the other way.
Yeah, definitely. Ali, I never said I dislike playing you. I'll clarify that.
Just your army.
Yeah. So Scott Colley has asked what our favourite faction is, or source book. So if Scott, if you're a little late, you can go back and we've spoken quite extensively about our armies, and we probably will a little bit more. Favourite source book. So this could be the current ones or the older ones.
So I didn't really read or had any of the older ones. This is just my knowledge of the newer one. And I really like Gondor at War.
Yeah, I like Gondor at War.
It's the first major one they did in the new edition. As it was a supplement source book type thing. The amount of scenarios that's in there, the amount of scenarios and the new profiles.
Yeah.
I think the Legion in there are some of the best that have come out.
I think Legendary Legions as a whole is an amazing idea.
Absolutely, yeah. Just the ones in there, you've got a nice variety that can do different things, but also do really well. With some cool rules too.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the old ones. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know. No, I did really like Gondor at War. Like I said, I think that was. I've never been a massive Rohan player. War in Rohan is a really good book, but I think I was always drawn more to Gondor at War, etc. Right. And then the second part of Scott's question, which he's just added to now.
Okay, yeah.
Factions are excited to get updated in new source books. So we know Quest of the Ring Bearer is coming.
Yeah.
I don't know quite what will be in it. Talking of Legendary Legions, I think there might be a Nazgul one, a Cirith Ungol one, maybe an Amon Hen Lurtz one. But after that, I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Okay. If you then think about everything that they could possibly do with expansion, it's big. It's always brought up, but I'd love to see some sort of Last Alliance Rivendell buff.
So you just answered Bonner's comment straight off the bat.
Yeah, that would be the one. I think hopefully in the Quest of the Ring Bearer, there might be a Moria one as well. Something to do with the Balrog, just hundreds of goblins possibly. That would be cool. maybe he gets might. Doesn't need it, but maybe
Yeah,
gets might, or he gives extra buffs to goblins. But yeah, nothing other than that. Elves and goblins.
I was going to say the other Moria one that someone pointed out could be a Balin's Tomb one. So you get like a cave troll gets a buff, or you get like a super cave troll.
So yeah,
that would be pretty cool. An expansion that I would like to see, War in the North, I think would be pretty cool.
that'd be cool.
So an expansion to Easterlings and it's the way you can get an expansion to Easterlings and possibly Canned. It kind of like a Shadow in the East book. Like one of the old ones. I don't know what they would include for good, because it's Erebor. Unless they write a whole new. Well, it's pretty much just the Iron Hills list, isn't it? Because Dane is dead.
Dane is still alive, but maybe
Dane
he's
is
not
still alive. Sorry,
he's not as potent, so it could be like the
old Dane profile.
The old Dane profile, yeah.
Yeah. Where he becomes more of a leader rather than a beat stick.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah, there's so many places they can go. So
I'd like to see some more fiefdoms and Farharad stuff. Being really, really selfish. I have no idea what they would include. I know Dwin here has sons. There's the guy from Pennath Gelin, and maybe some Pelegir troops.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. And then and maybe like an Umbar. Well, say that they've all got Delgamar, and the Corsairs are pretty fleshed out. But I don't know what else. I have no idea where the team is taking it next.
I think no matter what
they've surprised us with like the quick drop of Scouring the Shire.
Yeah, so you never know. There might be something as they've been working on in the last few months.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
When we go to tournaments, what tournament format do you prefer?
Tournament format. So, what, like Good v Evil?
Yeah, Good v Evil, Escalation, doubles, that kind of thing.
So I've not done an Escalation one. It seems pretty cool though.
I was gonna say it's one that definitely intrigues me.
Yeah. So I was planning to go to. I think it was Basingstoke last year. That was an Escalation one.
Yes.
I think it was just a one-dayer, but you had 4 games and it went from like 5 to 1,000. That'd be cool. I wouldn't say I prefer Good v Evil. I just like good matchups.
Yeah.
Or new matchups that I've never played. So if I'm playing a new army that I've never faced, it's always interesting. And doubles is always fun.
I don't. It's never apart from Ardacon, I don't think I've done a doubles tournament.
So I did one with Sean at the start of the year in Reading. You're facing 2 players, obviously.
Yeah.
And you can generate a bit of conversation while you're playing, which makes things, especially in a 2.5-hour game or 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Go a little bit quicker. But yeah, you can, if you set on this thing where you control this half, you control that half, you can do outrageous things. You call heroic combats for no reason and that sort of thing. It can be really fun. And obviously your opponents will feed off that and you're always going to have a good game. Because we've done doubles at Ardcon a couple of times. And
we did.
Spaniards, we played Italians, we played Dutch, and you're always having a good game with.
Yeah, we took Mummock and Mahud Raiders.
Yeah.
All the
Lots of
impact hits.
yeah. It didn't really work out, but
Did we win one game? Oh, we
won one game.
That was against that Irish couple. Well, Irish guy,
No, it was
Irish guy and girl. Yeah, because we played Three Hunters and Bayonne and oh
Eagles.
god, yeah,
A couple of Eagles.
yeah, I
An
think so.
Eagle. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, you face these armies that you never face in normal gameplay as well.
Yeah.
So I think doubles is always.
Yeah. Good. I don't know. Kind of one of the next questions is upcoming events, and that's always really, really tricky. Obviously, in the current climate. So I am we are hopefully hosting a tournament in October, 10th and 11th in Bristol, if anyone's looking to come. Hopefully that'll run. Are there any other tournaments? So tournaments that I liked going to. The GT is always good if you can get a ticket. Into the West has to be one of my favourites. It was the first tournament I ever did, and it's just one of my go-tos. It's always really good fun. Ardicon is always good, but I like the thing I like the most about that is seeing people from abroad that I've not seen for a long time.
Yeah.
And also the team aspect to it. That really, really appeals.
Yeah, it's something a little bit different, isn't it?
I love getting our Team Wales together after every game and going, right, how did everyone do? Kind of encouraging us all, because we did really well up until the last round last year.
Yeah.
So we had just to let people know, you didn't have the best of day ones. Let's put it that way.
No, I had the worst of day ones, and I had the best of best day twos. So
were you Norton 3 but ended 3-3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it went bad.
So going
everyone else was doing.
Yeah, so going into the last round, we had 4 of us on 4-1.
Yeah.
Ranging from table. Ali might correct me on this. I was on table 12. I think he was on table 8, 9, or 10. I want to say 10. And then we had I think Sean on the table next to me, or Jack, and then Sean and Jack again was a couple of tables down, and we were like, oh, if we win these, we'll be in a really, really good position, or at least if some of us win, and as you can probably tell, none of us won. None of us won, but we still ended up getting. What did we get? I can't remember what the title was.
We got
third place.
UK UK home nations.
Home nation. Oh, home team.
Home team.
So a team from the UK, we came third, which was amazing. And there was 8 of us in our team, which was really cool. So yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. A lot of fun. That's I think my best. That's the thing I like the most about Ardicon, definitely.
Ardicon, yeah, it's always a good time. It is a convention. It's 3 or 4 days away, playing games, having fun, drinks, going out, and that sort of stuff. And yeah, reconnecting with people that you don't see very often. Because it might seem weird to Americans or Canadians that a 4-hour drive for a tournament, you just don't do that often. Whereas
we don't definitely.
Whereas they do it mostly. Well, used to do it probably every other weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're obviously down south in UK. We met people from London, the Midlands, Wales, Scotland, all that sort of. And then Ardacon, you get to see them all again.
Yeah.
So it could be a whole year before you've seen them. You have a nice catch up and everything. So yeah, Ardacon's probably my favourite.
It's always late nights. It's always late.
But yeah, I'm hoping that Reading might still go ahead this year. That's always good.
Yeah, I'm holding out hope for ours, and obviously,
hoping so.
If we have to have face masks and maybe cut down a few numbers, then so be it. According to government guidelines, ideally we'd still run at 50, but whether it all comes down to the venue as well. If they're not wanting to host that many, then that's perfectly within their right. And to be honest, I wouldn't blame them. So
no.
It's a conversation that needs to be had.
It goes ahead, but then next year might get back to a bit more normality, and we have these tournaments we want to go to again. Should be good.
Yeah. So we're going to do this for like another 20 minutes if you want to fire any more questions to us. So I know we discussed us playing against each other, but is there any a player particularly you struggle to play against, or an army? I think while you're thinking, when I started going to tournaments, it was the people you hear of regularly that I was a bit like, I don't know, can I beat them? Is my army set up in the right way? That kind of thing. So I remember playing Ed Ball a couple of times and being like, but playing the player rather than the army in the game. More recent times, that doesn't bother me because I know Ed, and I know what he tries to do, and he likes to. I think he's like all of us. You like to play a little bit of deception and mind games, especially with people you know, because it's far more amusing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think there's a particular army I struggle against.
Like I said, if I play my goblins, I'll always struggle against Bruhan. But in terms of a player, I think I played Ed 3 or 4 times and not one.
Okay.
But out of people I played multiple times, that's the only person I think I haven't in the tournament setting. I don't know why. I think one of the times was it came down to a roll-off. I think it was Goblins versus Rivendell Knights. Well, my Goblins gets his Rivendell Knights in Reading a couple of years ago. It was Hold Ground.
Oh god, okay.
So I was doing quite well. I was making him sweat, which I was proud of. But the game just kept going on.
Okay, so if it had finished on one of these first,
I had about 20-something goblins in the middle at one point against 2 elves.
Oh no!
Plus Elrond, and the game just kept going on. Yeah, and I failed. There was a turn where he didn't charge me. He let me do my courage test. My shaman was dead, and every single goblin ran.
Oh god!
So that that was the closest I probably could have come. It ended up being like a 10-0 or something like that, 10-1. But it was the closest game I've had with him. But yeah, there's no player that I struggle against. I know I've got winning records against a few people. I think when you interviewed Scott a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've got a 3-0 against Scott, I think. That made me chuckle when he said that. But yeah, I think now it's becoming obviously a lot more balanced with the armies and
I was going to say I don't think there's one player that I would signal out as being the best anymore.
No,
I think
there's players who know their armies and play well with them.
Yeah, I think in the previous
only a better player.
In the previous edition, you could definitely put Jay and Ed above everyone. However, I think in this edition there is so many players who can be in that top bracket.
I think the last year and a bit has shown that there's been more higher variety of tournament winners, especially 100-pointers. There's been a massive variety in the different type of people who've won.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mr. Dave. I can see you're off.
Yeah.
We will see you soon.
See you, Dave.
So going, a couple of questions that have fired in. Will we be seen in Stirling? Not this year.
Not like.
I would love to do it next year. I go up to Scotland. I go to Scotland like every October. I think it's just in the wrong place, like the wrong time. So it is one I would love to go to. The event format, if it's still 800 points good v evil, I think would be really, really cool. It's just a little bit far away for us.
We would have to fly, I reckon. I don't think I could survive the drive.
If you make it
8 hours or something.
Yeah. It's a day of travelling. Like I said, I do it every year. I would love it to fit around and be around the last week in October. Steve, if you could change it to the last week in October, I will be there, my friend. And then Sean's asked us, what's more important for us when choosing best painted, faces or bases?
I think it's faces for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
a base definitely makes a miniature pop, most definitely.
Yeah.
But if your
if
your face is good and the base is just improved that, then yeah.
Yeah, I think if you can get a good pair of eyes, you get the definition of the cheekbones and everything like that. I think that takes some, especially on some of the miniatures as well. It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah. I was going to say, I tried to paint eyes on everything, just because
I can't do it.
Just because on a lot of models there is space for it, so therefore, even on ones where it's really, really tight, Knights of Minas Tirith, Knights of Dol Amroth, that kind of thing, I think it makes them pop. Like you say, it makes them feel like a person. That sounds really weird, but that's exactly it.
No, I agree, and with bases, I appreciate nice bases.
Yeah,
but I think you can obviously buy pre-cast ones that will look good when you paint them.
Yeah,
you can buy all the tufts and everything like that. I don't think it requires as much effort and technique and everything.
Yeah, agreed.
As doing faces. But yeah, if you've got a mixture of both, then you're onto a winner, really.
Yeah. So Mr. Bonner's put this in the chat earlier. The favourite game or top gaming moment. So Mr. Bonner, I know I completely forgot about this, but it was playing at the ETC, and he channeled Sapworld, my Undying, with a Tesco Wraith, and yeah, I failed and didn't have the might to resist.
Oh no!
So I was suddenly playing Felbeast down. I think I still managed to win it because it was Seize the Prize, and I think I got the model. I think I got it off his board edge, but yeah, it was a touch and go. Alistair says all his models
are blinking. In terms, I've had a few good moments. I think some that stick out would be when I played Mark at your event, just the one you ran.
Oh, Mark Gempster.
It was a mirror match.
Your
Iron Hills Ballista
your
versus Iron
lists
Hills Ballista.
your lists were exactly the same, weren't
I think I had a few crossbows.
they? Yes.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think that was it. It was okay. Whoever gets the priority here is going to shoot first and do some damage. But yeah, that was just so bizarre because on a 4x4 table with 500 points, what's that? Less than 50 models. It was spread out
yeah.
across the whole table because of obviously the impact and everything like that. It was just so bizarre.
It was ridiculous.
I ended up 12-0.
Did you?
It wasn't even close. I think we were both going in 3 wins.
Oh, you were top table, weren't you? I remember now.
We were both top table with a mirror match, which is which is amazing. It was a really fun game, but his dice were better at the end of the day, and that's how he won.
Yeah, I was going to say you both had exactly the same tactic. I remember you sent a goat, one down each flank, to try and get the eyesight because your ballistas were behind walls.
Behind walls, yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it was bizarre. There's bit I can't remember off the top of my head, but that one probably sticks out the most for me.
Yeah.
As most memorable.
Oh dear, very very funny. I think we've had some crazy. Oh, another moment I can remember is in the old rules with my Mahood charging Gulliver with impalers and taking Gulliver from 4 wounds to 2 with my impaler hits. My king and Gulliver striking. Old rules, Gulliver can't strike now. Gulliver getting to 10, me getting to 9. My opponent rolling 2 3s. And I rolled a 6, so even with his 2 remaining might, he couldn't get there. And then the Mahood King then needs 3s to wound because he's charged with a lance.
Yeah.
So that was good fun. I don't think I can. Oh, Mark's gonna love me for saying this. It's against me again. He had 4 Galadrim bowmen shooting at my Taskmaster behind 2 ranks at the GT. Again, this is the Double Felby's Taskmaster Old Edition. He hits with 3 of them. 2 get past both ranks and both wound my Taskmaster. I then proceed to roll a 1 on my fate and Taskmaster dies. It all went very downhill from there. But yeah, that was all. I'm trying to think if there's any more funny moments that I've had, even in games that we've had.
I got one that Dave Clubley will love. It was I think it was just a local tournament in Cardiff, and it was domination against. He had Ents versus Goblin, my Goblin, and it was domination. I had all the objectives, but he was killing me really, really quickly, so he could then jump on him. So I needed to lose 1 more, so I threw him off a cliff. And it ended the game.
Oh, that's how you win games. That's how you win
games, guys. Yeah, it was like a 7-inch cliff. So he took
jeez.
3 hits. Yeah, that'll do.
That should kill him.
Yeah, it was. I had all my models on the other side of the board chasing down Merry and Pippin, try and break him or something like that.
Okay.
He kept Treebeard and the Ents on the objectives. My Shaman was dead by then, so I wasn't charging in. So I just, chuck him off a cliff. Get the game done.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So, guys in the comments who are still with us, we'd like to do this kind of semi-regularly, maybe once a fortnight. We've not really discussed what we're
once a fortnight at least.
And at other times I could do the community interviews like this, so you get some good interaction. whilst we're doing this. We've got some other ideas for live streams, such as kind of like a speed painting, or so we have like, what do we say, like 2 hours. I think
Yeah,
I, th- I
whatever a
think they're
normal
always going to be
stream would
around
do.
2 hour streams.
Yeah,
So yeah, we could do
you
like
have a model and paint.
yeah, we both have like the same model, and we write. You've got 2 hours. Go. Another one is list building challenges. So we get thoughts from the community and go right. We'll say give us a points level, and we've got to include this, this, and this, or just like a single big hero or something different, and we'll try and very quickly come up with a points with a list, and then
Yep.
talk about it. Other ones are reviewing lists once tournaments start, that kind of thing. So if there's any more ideas that people think they'd like to see, please let us know, because that would be really, really helpful. I'm trying to see what other ideas that we had. I will post a link to our Discord in the chat, so you can come and join us if you wish. Like I say, we're online a couple of times a week probably.
Yeah.
To just chat about this, that, and the other.
Yeah, if you're painting models or whatever, just jump in.
Yeah, the more the merrier. So yeah, so if you've enjoyed this live stream, please comment, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you all soon.
See you guys.
Adios.